You've had opportunities this season, yet still to get off the mark in terms of points. So how would you sum up your mood, the mood of the group going into this game against Forest?
Yeah, the mood's good. We should have more than 0 points from the 2 games. Probably both could have easily been draws. I think the difference against Aston Villa last week was probably us in front of goal, missing chances, and Danny Ings miscontrolling and spinning and hitting a great finish and a transitional moment, and that could happen. So, we wanted more out of the 2 games, but in terms of our performances, they've been pretty good. I think we understand with this season the process for us of bringing in new players late in the window, players that just arrived just after Conor Cody came after Chelsea. Amadou isn't fit yet. Villa wasn't fit enough to start the game, so we're in an early transitional period. But I think we deserve more. But the mood's good.
Obviously, off the pitch as well, it appears there's a number of issues to be sorted out. First of all, I'm going to speak about Anthony Gordon. How likely do you feel it is he will still be an Everton player once the window shuts, given obviously Chelsea have been in and made that bid for him?
Yeah, he's an Everton player, isn't he? So I don't want to talk about likely or hypothetical questions of what may be. He's an Everton player. He's got a huge value to the team for me at Everton. We saw that in his progress last season when I got here and felt that on the pitch. He's a massive player in the squad. He's obviously a huge valuable asset for the club, one that we've actually developed ourselves and come through. So there's a link to the fans, link to the club. That's the story of Anthony Gordon.
With regard to him though as well, what conversations have you had with him? Is it a player who has reacted in any way to this speculation about his future?
No.
And what kind of reaction, and how does that impact any decision to play in this weekend?
No, he's in the squad for tomorrow. Any chats I have with him will remain private. I'm not going to sit here and publicly talk about those. And as any player should do, they have to get on with their game and their own form and train well and prepare well and play well with our player. It's as simple as that.
We'll also ask what's happening with Dele Alli now, and is it likely that he's going to be going to Besiktas now, or could it be elsewhere? What's the situation?
Well, there's interest in Dele. I think that's come out publicly in the last couple of days. I think that's one for us behind the scenes to consider ourselves, and obviously Dele has to consider that. And for him to go, it'll have to be the right situation for everybody.
Clearly.
Can I ask a bit more about Dele? I know you say you don't want to talk too much about his own personal situation, but he also came into the club at the same time you did. Were you the person that assigned him? Was that you were fully in charge of that? And also, were you fully aware of his situation, whatever that may be, his personal situation, in order that we got to this position where he might be leaving so soon?
Every player since I've been here and come into the club has been a responsibility of myself, the board, the owner, the chairman, and since Kevin's been in, Kevin as well. Those conversations are always ones that we are joined up together. It obviously happened very quickly when I got into the club, and we knew we needed to have players in the midfield area. We were short there on injuries, and the balance of the squad didn't feel quite right. So I think the intentions in bringing him in were pretty clear at the time. In terms of what was the second half of your question? Sorry.
Just were you fully aware? Obviously, you're alluding to issues that perhaps you don't want to talk about, but were you fully aware of those issues when you signed him?
Well, yeah, I think everybody. I didn't know Dele personally, and I think everyone was aware of the curve of his career. And what he'd achieved and where he was at. And that was something you take into account, of course. So that was I was aware of that in that front. But as I say, the talent of the player, the opportunity to bring him here for a deal that I saw recently that it was like 40 million quid. It wasn't. The deal was not that, and we know that it was an opportunity to try and get him into the team to help us. And the more games he may play, he will become a value. And at the minute, we are trying to get that. We've been trying to find that. Level of performance from him. He needs to keep working no matter what happens today, tomorrow, next week, next month. He needs to keep working, because the only thing I know in football that I know for sure as a coach, many things you don't know for sure, is that hard work on the training pitch correlates with how your performance is. That's all I know, and that goes for every player.
And if he left the club, would that be a personal disappointment?
In my job, you have to have the football side and you have to have the human side. I like Dele. I want to help all the players. I want to sit there and be able to talk to them no matter what's going on in their life, if they want to talk to me about it. So there are many things in this job that kind of can give you disappointments or whatever. The main thing I want to do is be a support for the players and get football results. So again, it's one of those that just becomes too much of a personal question to talk about him on that one.
Okay, just like